Yeah, we have. We've got a very close bond. Like I've said before, there are no egos in the changing room. It's one of the best changing rooms, or the locker rooms that I've been in for sure. So everyone's very close. And yeah, we had a difficult week away. 2 games at altitude, and then a third game in a week at Dallas, which was like playing in an oven. So it was difficult. Always things to improve for sure because the games didn't go how we wanted them to. And then off the back of that week and those 3 games to then start the Portland game like we did, which was difficult, and we hung in there. We managed to get 2 goals and then kind of reset at half time and took the game away from them, and that's just an example of the character, I think, that and the resilience that we've shown all season. We've come from behind several times. We've got results sometimes when we've been backs against the wall early in the season, and we're playing with new players, especially in the first 10 games of the season, to pick up as many results as we did with the group that we had, and new guys coming into a new league and stuff. I think anyway, it shows good character.
And in terms of from the last time you played Real Salt Lake, that draw it felt almost like you were leaving with more than 1 point. It was a hard fought one. Do you feel like this team has taken strides in terms of it shouldn't be such a closely contested battle this time around?
No, I think it will be closely contested. I feel like they were a strong team. They started really quickly. They started really well. They were at home, and they they scored an early goal, and then we kind of got on top, and they scored against a run of play a second one. And then a great goal from Vic kind of got us back into the game before half time, and really second half I thought we were the better team, and could have easily won the game. So when I look at the whole of the Western Conference, to be honest, there's strong teams throughout. Vancouver and Dallas are getting results away at tough places. You saw Seattle and Kansas both lose at home. Just shows how strong this conference is, to be honest. And you think some people might think, oh, we're going to Vancouver or we're going to Dallas. It's an easy 3 points. Well, it's not. Those guys can play great football, and especially because they're used to their conditions at their home. It's very difficult. It's a difficult one. I think because we had good results against them maybe before, where we played Dallas at home and then Vancouver we won. People just thought we would win again, and that's just not how it works. So it will be a tough game for sure on Wednesday.
Well said. Thanks so much. See you on Wednesday.
Thanks.
Thank you, Nikki. We'll go with Josh Gessman next. Josh, go ahead.
Hey, Jonathan, thanks for
Hi,
taking
Josh.
time. Greg was just talking a little bit about how he says he thinks you guys haven't even scratched the surface yet on what this team is capable of doing. He thinks that he also mentioned sort of that you guys set this goal for how many points you wanted at the midpoint of the season, and you guys are within 3 points of that right now, and he thought that was ambitious. One, is this an ambitious team, and can you see what Greg sees? Are you guys haven't really scratched the surface of what you're capable of?
Yeah, in terms of the goal that we set, that's true. The night before the Miami game, when we set it, I was kind of thinking, like that's a big goal for a brand new team, and to think that we're 1 win away from that is encouraging. But yeah, I think he's right. We haven't scratched the surface. With the ball, we kind of play how he wants to play in patches of games. I feel we never do it for like a whole 90 minutes, and then defensively we're conceding too many at the moment for a variety of different reasons. So if we even just tighten up defensively, a little bit, and we get a bit more rhythm with the ball and not giving it away so much, then our potential is huge, I think. But it's difficult. Sometimes you play well, and you can play well for 90 minutes and not win. That's just how it works. And at the moment, we've managed to get a lot of points and a lot of results in many different ways. So yeah, it's all about timing, right? Everyone wants to win the MLS Cup and obviously the Supporters' Shield, but hopefully now going into the second half of the season, we'll get more of a rhythm with more of a settled team as well.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Thank you, Josh. We'll go with Larry Morgan next. Larry, go ahead.
Hi, Jonathan. Thanks for speaking with us.
Hi, Larry.
Remember, several weeks ago, I asked you what your early impressions were of the MLS, and now that you play almost a half a regular season, what are your impressions of MLS now? Have they changed at all?
I guess they're always formulating. I mean, I did experience the extreme of the conditions, which obviously as a goalkeeper it's difficult. You know, I was fatigued and tired, but it's not as difficult as those guys out there. So I understand when I'm shouting at them to recover back in 40 yards, and they're kind of like not doing it as quick as what I'd like. I have to kind of think about the fact that they are running in, I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit again, but like they're running in very hot weather basically. And it is tough, you know, especially when you have that many games in a week. It would have been nice to maybe play, you know, the 3 away game trip at maybe like Seattle, Portland, something like that. But we managed to get an away trip with 3 away games, 2 in altitude and 1 in Dallas. So it's always difficult. In terms of the league, it hasn't really changed since I last spoke to you. I knew it was athletic, it's tactical, it's unpredictable. I feel maybe actually the level of our conference and the kind of the teams that are in maybe the bottom 5, 6 now, their level is actually quite strong. Maybe that would be the difference since I last spoke to you.
One last question. I asked Greg if he's watched any of Ted Lasso. Have you watched any of that show?
No, I mean I've watched the first 2 episodes, but I haven't. Of season 1. Of season 1. But I don't want to be reminded of going back there and like those. Look, I want to focus on, you know, being in America and not going back to England. So I haven't watched any more.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Larry. We'll go with Gio Garcia next. Gio, go ahead.
Hey, Jonathan, good to see
Hi, Gio.
you. I wanted to ask, obviously, there's a lot of different, changes because of substitution and injuries, obviously, especially the back line. Do those conversations change depending who's a center back or who's playing back there with you in the midfield?
Yeah, I mean, that changes. It does change a lot. I mean, the profiles of defenders are different. Nick likes to step in. Derek's left-footed. Then you have Sega, who's hugely athletic. Then you've got Ryan, who's loves to get on the ball, is defensively solid. Or you can play in there with Adam, who likes to get forward a little bit more. And the profile's always changing, and the shape has been changing as well. I find it difficult, you know, like it isn't easy when you haven't got a settled back 4 or back 5 for sure, but at the same time you don't want to use that as an excuse, you know. Everyone when they come in has to do well, and we have to make sure that we tighten up defensively. And by the way, it's not just the back 4 and the defensive midfielder, it's all 11 guys, you know. I think in the last game we just had a meeting in there about some things in the last game where we were just stretched out too far as a team, you know, from the forward guys. So if the press isn't right at the front, then that kind of exposes us at the back, and we have to make difficult decisions. So it really is, everyone offensively and defensively has jobs. It's our responsibility to start up attacks to give the forward players more space and more kind of overloads going forward so they can score more goals. And if I just kick it long every time, then that's not going to suit Sam, Kevin, Vic, you know, these creative guys. So we both have responsibility to each other for those guys to help us defend and for us to help those guys to score goals.